Penny, we heard you and Andre Turner talk all about the rivalry that is Memphis Louisville and what it means and everything. When you got 15 new guys who really, most of them aren't from here, they don't understand that. How do you help them understand that this week?
It's hard. It's really hard to understand that because the rivalry has been gone for a while, and only the true Memphis fans and the true Memphis people that understand how great that rivalry was. I can't even explain to the guys. They'll never be able to level up mentally and get to the point to where they're gonna go into the game like this is the energy that we need. They just know it's a big game against a top 5 team in the country, and they've heard us talk about it enough. But there's no way me and Andre could put them in that mode. It's a mode you gotta already know.
You've been playing videos or showing pictures or anything like that?
No, we haven't done any of that. I mean, I think they've done a fantastic job of being one of the top teams in the country, and those guys see that. They see the energy that they play with. They see how they bounce back and are back in their glory days, and that there's a lot of high positive energy in Louisville.
Is it weird that you've never really been a part of it at all?
It is weird. As much as I know about the rivalry, I never played against Louisville, never coached against Louisville. This is the first time, so I understand the rivalry and how great that situation was, but it's amazing that I've never played one game against Louisville nor coached against it.
Are you going to have to try to compartmentalize that, like the coolness of being now a part of it, and separate that from actual game and
I think in some ways I am going to have to compartmentalize it because I understand everything that goes on with this situation. So yeah, I have to be like, it's pretty cool to be in this rivalry, but then, work has to be done as well. I'm gonna take it all in though, because it's gonna be pretty cool. We're not in Freedom Hall, which is sad, even though we still don't have the Coliseum, but I thought that would be pretty cool. But just to be in that sea of red, I've always watched it on TV, never been a part of it.
Obviously the game has a ton of history around it, but at the same time, Louisville this year obviously is a great team, maybe the best you'll see all season. So, with the building some momentum going into this one, does it sort of serve as a measuring stick to see just where y'all are at this point going into the big stretch of the schedule?
I think a key word you use is momentum. We do have good momentum because we won 3 in a row. And the way that we won the Baylor game gives the guys confidence, but no knock on Baylor, Louisville is a different animal. And there is always a measuring stick because we want to play these tough games in non-conference to see where we are. So yeah, we want to measure up against the best. We've already played the number 1 team in the country, Purdue. And now playing Louisville, that's pretty good company, right? And we see where we measure it. We know where we were in the Bahamas, and let's see where we are this Saturday.
Considering how you have played lately, especially the performance against Baylor, how much better about this game do you feel like now as opposed to maybe a week ago or a month ago there?
Yeah, as a coach, you want to see good, positive things happen before you go into a hostile environment, playing against a great team. And the Baylor game was right on time. So it does help having some good positive energy going into a very hostile situation. You're not second guessing yourself in areas. We've gotten better in areas every game, and we're hit by the injury bug, but the guys are stepping up.
How did this series come about? Like, how were you able to work out a long-term home and home with Louisville, and do you think we can expect more teams that Memphis hasn't played in a while to get that same type of series?
Yeah, we have to thank our administration and their administration because both parties wanted to get the rivalry back. And, man, it's been pretty cool to have a long rivalry with Louisville again. I'm glad I'm a part of it now because, like I said, I've watched it forever, but it was just easiest the administration's calling one another and just getting it done.
how are Curtis and Julius progressing?
Curtis is progressing better than Julius because his injury is just fresh. Both guys are working really hard, doing their rehab, and starting to look better. Curtis is starting to look pretty good, and Julius is still kind of, I think he's about 50%.
So too soon to say whether you'll have Julius or do you?
I don't think we'll have Julius. I don't think we'll have Curtis either. It's just my guesstimation right now from just watching both of them.
What was the most encouraging thing from that Baylor win leading into the Louisville game?
The most encouraging thing was we had control of the game and then lost control of the game and got down 8. A couple of weeks ago, I don't know if we win that game. We come back, take control of the game, go on a run of our own and finish it strong. That was the most impressive thing about that game.
How's Aaron doing just from a mental standpoint, like it seems like no matter who you talk to about him, everybody's like, man, if he just keep his mental up, keep his confidence up, like he'll be good. How's that been after these two performances?
No, it's been pretty good. He's always been a positive, upbeat young man. You know, he's always trying to see the glass half full and be as positive as he can. And we've been a great support system for him. His mindset has been great because he understands what these games mean. When he was at Kentucky, he played Louisville, so he knows the rivalries and how they work. So he's not overlooking anything. He's not stepping ahead of anything. He's just staying in the moment and saying, I understand what I have to do for us to be great every single night, and he's willing to do that.
Billy's been the only real consistent starter that you've had this year, but how close is somebody like Zach perhaps getting to that? You know, considering the way he's played lately and after his career day against Baylor.
Yeah, the way Zach is playing, he's definitely etching himself as a starter in that starting group because he's playing the right way now. You know, it took him a while. It's taken a lot of the guys a while because it's new. But the form that he's in right now, I'm starting to love everything. That's where I've been trying to push him to because I knew he had that type of potential. 23 and 13 are major numbers for anybody around the country. But to see him just coming into form about rebounding and defending smarter, he's definitely in that category of guys that are going to be starting.
What exactly is that potential, that ceiling you're out there?
Yeah, I think that he can be a double-figure rebound guy every night. Now, what happens with points might, fluctuate or, might be up and down, but rebounds have to stay consistent. Defense has to stay consistent, and I feel like he can do both those things really well. So the potential he has is to be the best defender in the country and just be one of the best rebounders in the country.
Coach, Louisville, they're leading their conference in a few different categories, right? We talked earlier this week about you hang your hat on defense and sliding team effort. What do you want to see from the guys specifically, not giving them away from the
Yep.
equipment that is, but just what do you want to see from them to help slow down this good team?
Yeah, we want our team to just stop them from scoring every single time down. No, I'm joking. But what I want to see is that we're in tune with the personnel because Louisville is a well-oiled machine. They play really fast basketball. They know their reads. They make hard cuts. They make life hard for you guarding them. So I just want them to understand attention to detail and personnel. Know your personnel, from McNeely to Woolley to any of the guys, Conwell, whether you're guarding Rue or Roots, all these guys, they got so many guys prior. They got like 10 or 11 guys that could be starters. So you have to know every last one of these guys because when you step in front of them, you got to know what their strengths and weaknesses are.
Ben, you said on Greg Gaston, I'm paraphrasing, that when he asked you about kind of knowing your lineups and rotations, that you know who everybody is now, you know their identities and stuff. What does that look like right now, like in terms of starting five rotation? Have you narrowed it down? Are you still going to run with 11, 12 guys? Where are you at?
I think I'm at 8, but in a game where we might get into foul trouble or something might happen, you can get to 10.
Yeah.
But in a game like Saturday, 8 are going to be solid. And if 9 plays, it's going to be 8, 9, 10 minutes maybe. We're trying to settle on 8 though.
And who are the starters? Can you share?
I really don't know. I really don't know yet. Obviously, the team that we started 2 games ago was a good group. Hassan, Zach Davis, and Doug and Aaron Bradshaw. We just don't know, who the center would be. Simon or Tierno or Tariq. We're just trying to figure that out. Just the best group. We might go small. It might be Bradshaw at the 5, Hassan at the 4. We haven't figured out yet. When we went to play Purdue, I went big. And that was Ashton, Bradshaw, Majok, Zach Davis, and Doug McDaniel. So I haven't decided which way I want to go yet because they're a pretty big team as well.
How much of what we're seeing in terms of the cohesion and the cleaner product that y'all put out the past couple games, how much of that is like some guys understanding that, hey, you may have been the guy at X school, but now you're in this role. Does that make sense? And kind of
Yeah,
let
for
that
sure.
dust settle.
That's the problem you run into and all coaches are running into because you go out in this portal and you're usually going to get a really good player that was probably the first or second option on their team. And they come to a team with a lot of other guys like themselves and the word sacrifice has to come up every day. We have to sacrifice. And then you know, water always finds its level, right? It's the better players are going to step out. And Doug is being one of those guys. Zach is not being one of those guys. AB is not being one of those guys. So you need everyone sacrificing. So we started off the season saying it could be anybody on any given night, but it seems like these three guys are emerging. But if it's anybody on any given night, as long as we're winning, I'm good with that.
How formidable can that trio be if they're all hitting, like in terms of just nationally, like having that big three?
Oh yeah, they can be very formidable because you want a three-headed monster, right? You want guys that can show up every single night and you can count on 15 or more points per night. That'd be great.